aloud for you from my novella Goddess, Chapter 44. There is, of course, the small matter of climbing down this monument, Lady Venus said. Maddie glanced downwards, and her heart flew up into her throat. Dear Goddess. That's right, my darling. Lady Venus really was talking to her in her thoughts. Okay, but now they had to climb down this thing. It'd been bad enough climbing up. How in the world was Lady Venus going to get her down it? Well, the same way in which she'd climbed up the monument, only going backwards this time. Maddie's heart thudded dully. And speaking of discomfort, Maddie slowly became aware of a strange sensation from deep inside her. At first, she didn't trust it, but then she realized that something really was happening to her, and it was happening to her body, 50 miles south in the ICU. Ready? Lady Venus patted Maddie on the head. Maddie gulped, then nodded. May as well get this over with. Something inside her body had shifted and changed, and she had no control over it, and the truth of it frightened her. A sensation rose up in her throat, and she clutched her neck. It felt like a seed of pollen lodged in the back of her throat, and she coughed, and the tickling sensation kept on tickling her. And then something changed inside her, and it was both terrifying and wonderful at the same time. For something cumbersome and heavy slid out of her body, and as it slipped out, her body alternated between fighting the tube's removal while wanting it at the same time to remain inside her body, and she gagged and hacked, and then, amazingly, what a strange relief! For the sensation of this thing leaving her body and pulling free of her mouth made a disgusting, wet, sucking sound emerging from her mouth. And it was so embarrassing, and yet at the same time such a blessed relief to have it gone. And she was suddenly gasping, heaping lungfuls of air, and it was such a wonderful feeling and so freeing, and her heart felt so light, and she felt so suddenly lovely and vibrant, and at the same time that this was taking place, Lady Venus was doing a curious thing. She held Maddie close to her chest with one hand and used the free hand for support, and leaped back up to her feet and perched on the scrap of pedestal with her big toe, and angled her body away from Victoria and clutched Maddie with both arms now, and Maddie's screams turned hoarse. But Lady Venus kept a tight hold on her, and as Maddie gasped in lungfuls of air, Victoria stretched up to her full height and jumped back up onto her globe. What the hell is going on? Lady Venus maintained her precarious position on the edge of the pedestal as Victoria stretched up her right arm, holding the saber toward the heavens. And as the tip of the sword glinted in the bright glare of the lights illuminating the pedestal, she muttered a few words under her breath. Off in the distance, storm clouds congealed together. Thunder rumbled with menace. The darkness approached quickly, with threatening thunderclouds and a lightning bolt struck the sword, and a shocking electric bolt sizzled down the length of Victoria's sword, and then everything disappeared in a vast explosion.